All right, awesome. Welcome to day two of our 3 day clarity challenge. I see some of you guys have come back from day one. I can't wait to hear all about the wins and what the process of what you guys did for day one. Today is all about actionable clarity. Actionable clarity. So yesterday we focused on clarity and purpose. I'll review that a little bit of that yesterday. And then today we are breaking down our big goals into simplistic, simple, actionable steps. Remember, this is a 3 day clarity challenge, so you're not going to get everything in one day. There's a divine reason why it was all given in 3 days. So take what you can, use what you can, and move forward. It's okay if you don't get everything. All right. This is just a little snippet of how we can get clear for the month that's ahead of us, for whatever is coming on in our life that we were sent for today. So you'll get clearer should you just take the time out and just listen, not only to me, but listen within, and you'll get some answers during the time we're together. Cool. So yesterday's assignment was all about spending 10 minutes in your stillness ritual. What is my mother doing coming? I thought she's on a bus ride someplace in Long Island. Listen, she is a dedicated student. In all her bus rides, she's still logging in. I gotta love her. All right, 10 minutes still in this ritual. Basically, the goal of us yesterday was just to ask ourselves some of the questions that we needed to ask ourselves just to get ourselves in a stillness mode and to listen. So we spent time with listening to me, but I wanted you to now stop, take some of the information, and now listen to yourself. And one of the things, two of the things that we really focused on during the session that was also left for you to do on your own was write down three things that you're no longer available for, like releasing your the things that your non-negotiables, holding on to that, and releasing the things that you've been tolerating. So many times we've been letting a lot of things slide by the side and not realize it's been holding up space within us. So really sitting down and saying, I'm no longer available for this. I'm no longer available for that. And really owning it within yourself. And if you'd like to, feel free to post it in the chat, if you want to share it, or we can talk about it afterwards. But if you want to talk your homework and share your homework, definitely let me know and put it in the chat. And then the second thing was to get crystal clear on where you are now. Where are you now? And where is it that you want to go? So owning your space, whether it's in your personal life, whether it's in your spiritual life, whether it's in your professional or business life, you don't have to do all of them now, but choose one area in your space, right? Because this is just a 3 day clarity challenge. This is not the clarity coaching experience because it goes beyond just this, but just number one, choose what's really on top of your head and why do you believe you were sent here, which area in your life you want to focus on. If you choose all, it's going to get overwhelming. And that's what we do. We try to do everything in one shot, right? And that's what we're going to talk about today is just try and focus on a specific space where you are now and where you want to go. So we spoke about clarity and purpose yesterday. Today is tapping into clarity without action is just a wish, right? So we just think about things and we look at things and we get clear on the space or in a space or in our purpose, right? And I know some folks were not here yesterday, so what I do want you to do during the time, if you get a moment during the time, is tap back into your purpose again and own what is your purpose in where you are now. Not the big overall purpose, but what's your purpose for you? Why do you feel that you're still here? Why God still has you here? You're still present. You're still moving forward. What is your purpose now? I think sometimes we get so caught up in the big purpose that we forget the now, right? If the big purpose is something so huge that we don't have our hands or access to that, it could be something as small as my purpose is literally to be a light in every room I walk into. My purpose is to shine from within. My purpose is to be a vessel of whatever God has in store for me. My purpose is to share a smile wherever I go, or enlighten another person, or to use my gifts to touch another person. And I'm just giving you a different types of scenarios, but you got to know your purpose and your purpose now, so that when we start thinking of the next, you're aligned to that, and we can get a little bit more connectivity happening. And then action then turns clarity into transformation. So clarity without action is just a wish. So we want clarity with action. And then when we do that, that then turns the clarity into transformation. So there is where your transformation lays. Your transformation lays in the action, but we need the clarity first, right? So get clear, take action, and through that process, you'll begin to see the transformation. A little bit about me. I mentioned it yesterday. I am Dr. Ali. I am an autism entrepreneur, audiologist, speech language pathologist by trade, keynote speaker, TEDx speaker, multiple best-selling author, life and business strategist. I'm now more focusing on the life, as we're doing now for the personal conversations, because this is what's needed now, and still available for business as people begin to ask specific questions in that realm. Where I'm really sitting in space this year is within the autism mompreneur space, the life and business strategy space, and also in the sacred sanctuary retreat host and facilitation spaces. It's where the personal development and the spiritual transformation happens at our sanctuaries, either virtually or in person. So ask yourself, what could you achieve today if you stop overcomplicating your goals? What could you actually achieve today if you stopped overcomplicating your goals? Sometimes I think we sit down and we make things so complicated. And in that process, we totally don't move. So look at some of the goals that you may have placed for the year, and some of you guys have been with me for a while. Some of you have just, have written your goals over yesterday, or some of you may just think of one goal that you want to do. But what could you achieve today if you stop overcomplicating your goals? I want you to keep asking yourself that. Am I complicating this? Am I overcomplicating this? Am I making this a little bit more bigger than it needs to be? Or can I simplify this so I can get something achieved today? And this is what this most of this conversation is about, is getting us more focused on the present than the overall vision. Even though it's important to know the vision, I need to bring us back now to, we got the vision, or we have an idea of what the vision is for some of us who do, and if we don't, we can talk about that. But even in that vision and the goal setting space, what can I do today? Right? So today's focus, we're going to focus on taking clarity and actionable clarity. Now we're going to take some action. I'm going to focus on breaking those big goals into simple steps. That's my zhizh. Actionable steps. And if you guys brought your goals, we're going to talk through some of them. And by talking, I mean writing it in the chat. So if you're accessible near chat, feel free to write it through. If we need to talk it out, then we can schedule a session and we can do that. But if you write it through, we can talk through some of, at least one of your goals. We're going to learn how to stop the overthinking process and start taking practical action, another me, and building momentum towards your vision step by step. The goal of us today is to simplify our goals, clarify our action, and then empower ourselves into confident action. Sounds good? Type out in the chat to action. Action. It's action time. We got a little clear yesterday. We're going to keep getting clearer today. And we're going to lead some of the clarity into some action. So, the power of simplicity. Sometimes I feel like in our big goals, they can get super overwhelming. And in that space, it causes procrastination. And I need to start tapping into when that's happening now. We got to identify, wait a minute, this goal, I want to lose 10 pounds. Oh, it's not happening fast enough. Because it's not happening fast enough, I'll put it off. I'll do it for 2, 3 days, and then I'll stop, and then I'll do it another 2, 3 days, and then stop. And sometimes I figure, if why don't you just break it down into one? Just one. I want to focus on the first 1 pound. Instead of thinking 10, think of the one. Now, what can I do today for this one? So that the 10, if you have 10 sets of one, then you'll get your 10 pounds. But if we start thinking of 10 and 20, then that vision seems so big, even though we're all overachievers, right? Where's my overachiever crew? Right? We want the top of the top. We've been told since we were young to dream higher and dream bigger. And you don't just want to do that, you can do that. And there's nothing wrong with that. However, we also, when we had to get that degree, had to stop and break it down into classes, right? We had to do 101 level classes, and then we had to do 202 level classes, and then we had to do 303 level classes. We didn't just walk into college the first day and got the degree the second day. And I think a lot of us forget that part. So, what keeps us in that overwhelm space, or what feels like so much in our head, is because we are constantly thinking of the things. So, my goal and what I want us to do within these 3 days is to break them down into smaller steps so they can actually feel manageable and achievable. Does that make sense? Now, you don't need to have to figure everything out. You just need to know that I just need to know what's the first step. So if the first step towards losing weight is 1 pound, my first step is okay, what can I do with calories in minus calories out? Right? If I'm drinking soda or if I'm drinking something that adds up extra calories that I don't do, I can reduce that. If I'm not working out, I can add an additional workout to the day or add a walk to the day. Right? You guys see me doing a lot of walks because I stopped going into the big number and just saying, hey, what can I do today? I just need to focus on today. I'm not focusing on all the things, but just today. And if I could do today, I celebrate myself. And literally, I had to do this because raising Zachary, I had to learn that I couldn't keep looking at everything in big goals for him. I had to break it down into other kids are learning how to tie their shoelaces in a week. It took us close to darn near a year, almost near 2 years, and it was literally repetition. Take two, cross it over. Take two, cross it over. I couldn't even move to the loop until we got take two, cross it over. All right, great, we got that one. Take two, cross it over, set it around. Take two, cross it over, set it around. And we know this as professionals because we do it for everyone. We've been doing it with everyone, but when it comes to us ourselves, we want to take the elevator up and just reach there because we don't want to go through all the different smaller steps. Now, what's one big goal you want to achieve for yourself in the next? And I'm gonna break this down just 3 months. I'm not even gonna do 6 or 12 months, but what's one big goal that you want to achieve in the next 3 or 6 or 12 months? But we're doing 3 months. And the reason why I want us to think of this is it's now May 7th at the time of this recording. So think June, July, August. August 7th, which is 3 months from now, or the beginning of August, what's one thing you'd like to have accomplished? Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat or write it down, but put it in the chat. And the only reason why I'm telling you to put it in the chat, not to be nosy, but just so that it gives you accountability. It gives you accountability. When you say it out loud, you own it. Right? When you keep it in yourself because you don't want nobody else to know, it just holds it in and then there's nothing to push it over. Right? So, what's one big goal you want to achieve in the next 3 months? Identify offers that work better with my plate load. Okay. Identify offers that work better. Okay, so you want to get, is this before, Gina, did you put that down before, or this is your one big goal you want to get accomplished in the 3 months? Stability. One big goal you want to achieve in the next 3 months, stability. All right. So in that word state stability, it's a big goal with many moving parts. All right, great. Cool. Run 3 workshops. Cool. I like the number. I like SMART goals. I need a number at a time. You gotta know I love numbers. If you could change one of your goals into numbers, it helps us to break it down into numbers, right? Um, so instability, how could you add measurable, right? SMART is sustainable, measurable, achievable. I think it was the R is relatable or repeatable. There's like 3 R's that could go in, so you could choose which one that you want. It's a big goal with many with run through and write my personal story. Okay, your personal story. I think that believes. All right, great. So you gave yourself your 3 goals that you want to do in the next. Your one goal that you want to do in the next 3 months. Break it down now into smaller tasks. So now we need to ask ourselves, if we want to do that in 3 months, what do we need to get accomplished by the end of this month, which is the next 3 weeks? What do we need to get accomplished in the next, before I even move to that, what do we need to get accomplished this month within, if you want to do it in 3 months? So, Paulette, you can start and you can get one done before this end of this month, or by the earliest time, the first week in June. That should give you enough time. Writing your personal story, you can get whatever amount of chapters. If you were going to break that up into 10 chapters, then you can focus on getting your first part within the first 3 months, within the first month. So, what can you get accomplished in that first month? If you think of the big goal, what can we break it down into that one goal of what can we get done in the first month? All right. As we take it down to the first month, because we're taking that one big goal. Now, it could be personal, it could be business, it could be spiritual, it could be health wise. You guys all get to choose, right? So, like I started with goal numbers, I'm gonna stay with numbers of, okay, I want to lose within a month, within 3 months, maybe 10 to 15 pounds. Let me give myself something more direct, 12, right? I'll give myself 12. Or let's stick with the 10 since I started with 10 initially. Let's not become that overachiever yet. And I'm just trying to keep it really simple and numbers and something that everyone can understand. There's 50 million things I can jump at right now, but this just feels like I almost feel anyone have been through a stage where I could lose 10 pounds by the summer, right? I could lose 10 pounds by whatever amount of time. So if I'm going to break that down now, what can I get done in 1 month? If I take 10 and divide it by 3, then I can do 3 pounds, 3 to 4 pounds in a month, right? If I take 3 to 4 pounds and divide it into 1 week, then I can do 1 pound a week. And that's literally all I'm giving myself. So then I focus every day on what can I do towards 1 pound a week, and what are some smaller things I could do every day towards that. So I want you to take your goal now and just look at it and say, okay, if I want to have 3 workshops in 3 weeks, in 3 weeks, in 3 months, in 3 to 4 weeks, that means I need my first workshop. So then, what do I need to do every week to get that first workshop, right? So now you're breaking that 1 month back down into the 1 week space and break it down into smaller tasks. So take that 1 month, now break it down now into each week. What do I need to get done by each week? And just literally say week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. 1 month regain stability. My bill will help me with my 3 month goal of stability. All right, great. So now from that 1 month, I'm going to break you down even smaller. Now we're going to look at the weeks, the 4 weeks in the month, right? And take your paper now and go week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. Now you're taking all the week, those weeks, and now I just want you to focus on week 1. What do I need to do the first week towards that one thing I want to do? What do I need to do by next week this time? What do I need to do that time? I'm going to be doing another 3 week clarity challenge, not clarity challenge. I'm going to be doing courageous conversation, but another 3 day challenge will happen in 3 weeks because that was the message I was given. Right. So we'll check in for some of you guys who pop in. It'll be free. And I'm going to check in on you at that time for that 3 week space. How we doing on that 1 month goal that we have? Right. So now we take the time and we break it down into smaller, biteable tasks. Zena, big goal with many moving parts. Identify offers that work better with my plate load. So if you need to identify offers, Zena, I want you to break it down into your first offer, right? What's your first offer that you want to work on this month between now and July? Because everyone's goals are different. It's personal, spiritual, physical, health. You guys get to all choose your own. That's your biggest challenge. Look at that month and say, okay, if I need to get one offer clear, then what do I need to get by next week? What can I work on just to get me to get clear on that one offer by this month? What do I need to do week 1? Week 1, first I gotta know what's on my plate. So let's outline your schedule. Let's outline what it looks like right now. So take that by week 1, and Zena, you're one of my exact clients, so I will speak to you within that time. And just look at what's on your plate now. So that when you look on your plate, then when we get to the offer part, then you'll see, okay, which one of my first offers can I offer this month only that fits within my plate? That's it. So that's your assignment for the week. Does that feel like it's more biteable than finding out what my offers are based on my life? Right? So when we break it into smaller spaces, it helps us to do. So focus on one thing at a time. Oh, this is for my multitaskers. Previous multitasker right here. Now I'm getting older, my brain don't function as well where I can hold all the functions in my head. So I've learned to tell my mama I could only do one thing at a time. I know her brain thinks 50 million things. And I'm like, Mom, I need to get Zachary first to school before I could even think about the clarity challenge. Let's get him there. Once he's there, then I could focus on the clarity challenge. I couldn't do both at the same time, even though I scheduled things when he was available, he was sleeping, or other times to go out automatically. So that's systems. We'll talk about that afterwards. When we focus on everything, we end up accomplishing very little. Focusing on one task at a time increases productivity and it reduces overwhelm. Everyone type out the word, I want less overwhelm. Like, you gotta own it. You gotta know, like, I can't do this whole lot thing anymore. Like, own it. I need less overwhelm. Like, and be in that space. So the minute it starts to creep up, you go up, up, up. No, no, no. I'm not even owning. I'm not taking you. Nope. I see you sneaking in. Nope. Let me do one thing at a time. And even if it's one thing at a time, meaning 1 hour I focus on this, the next hour I focus on that, instead of trying to do everything at a time. Out of all the tasks that you have, which one step makes the biggest impact towards achieving your goal? That's what helps me to stay focused. If it's a revenue goal, I'm like, okay, what's the one thing I know that's going to lead towards the most revenue right now? I can't think of all the other things. If it's a physical goal, what's one thing I know that I need to do that's going to lead towards that 1 pound off? What's the biggest thing, or what's the one step I know that's going to have the biggest impact for me that still flows into my life? That still flows into my life. That's the key part. It's the one task that flows into my life. So I started walking during my lunch, or getting up a little earlier and starting the bike ride, or adding this 3-day fast. No, it wasn't intentional for that, but shucks, I could do a 3-day fast every once in a while if I needed to help with that immediate goal, right? Like, I know what have worked in the past, and you know what have worked in the past, because we've all accomplished big goals before. This ain't our first rodeo, and it ain't gonna be the last. So I tell myself what worked for me before in another big goal when I had a lot on my plate. And what worked for me before was the walking. What worked for me before was more water. What worked for me before is the calories in, calories out. What worked for me before, I know what worked. So go back to what works instead of making things complicated. And instead of trying to do all of them at one time, my focus is on, I got to move every day. Why? Because it blends my biggest goal so I can keep sharing my light, right? Which I do when I'm on. Whilst I'm walking, you guys see me doing my walking and my lives. So my purpose is to make sure I'm still sharing my light. I'm still tapping into other people. I'm still encouraging them. So during my walks, check my YouTube. I did one today, right? Check my Facebook. I did one there too. If I'm a walk, somebody else may need that encouragement to walk. And I'm going to invite you to the challenge. But I'm doing my walk. Does that make sense? So it got to fit into our life. It got to blend with the flow. And if it's if it's too out of what we're doing, then it may not be what we need to do right now, because it may add to the overwhelm. Case in point, sales calls every day for my business people, those who need to do sales calls every day, or those who need to do tapping into to their clients every day. Where does it look like I have more time during the day? On what day? 3-day clarity challenge happened when Zachary wasn't here. It flowed into my life, right? Even if it didn't, it could only happen when I'm available. 3 to 8, 3 to 9, only when I'm available. So it has to be able to flow into what your life is right now. Sometimes we're going to have to step out and be uncomfortable, But first, you have to ask yourself, am I okay with this discomfort right now? Or is this discomfort going to cause me to stop? Because people say, oh, I got to be uncomfortable to grow. I get that. Yes, you do. But don't start there. Don't start at the most uncomfortable thing, because if you start at the most uncomfortable thing, you're going to stop. So start with what's more ease first. As you get that into flow, then you can add something else. Then you can add something else. Then you can add something else. Does that make sense? And then the last part we're going to talk about is setting, the third part is set realistic deadlines. Momentum, yes, build up the momentum in time, which is my favorite thing to do. But I don't start with the biggest thing. I start with what I feel is more achievable. So realistic deadlines. That's why I said, instead of doing 12 months, because to me that's a far mark. And for most of you that are here, you're people who are within my circle. So I know I'll see you again within the 3 months, or I can see you within the 3 months. So let's say within that 3 months, because if we leave it at 1 year, then it's going to get overwhelming. And then let's take those 3 months, because I know I'm showing up again for another 3 week challenge within that month. So I'm saying, hey, let's break it down now into 1 month. 1 month. And then as we do the 1 month, because next week is going to be possible for some of you guys, we still may have some connection. Let's do, what can we do by next week? Because the 1 month might be too big for people. I could do a week. Right, that's why some people have coaches, because they could do the week, they could do every 2 weeks, they need that extra little, hey, I need somebody to bring me back in, or whatever, in different aspects. That's why you have the health coach. That's why, I'm saying it out loud. I could just not say it, but I'm gonna say it out loud, so I know somebody in my tribe gonna be like, Dr. Allie, you walking, or I done said it, so I gotta be telling people, okay, look, I'm walking, I promise. I said it out loud. So without deadlines, tasks can stretch on indefinitely. And setting deadlines help us to stay on track, as we all know, and it ensures that you go out there and do it. That's where the progress comes. So ask yourself, when will I accomplish this step by? And set a deadline for today's task that is realistic and achievable. So what this has us doing now is a 1 day task. And I want you now to break that big goal you had to what will you get done by tomorrow? Guess why? Because we got a day 3. So you got a place to be accountable for 1 day. So that big goal we did, Dr. D, Mrs. I have my luncheon, savory luncheon by May 17th. What can we get done by tomorrow? What can we get done by tomorrow towards that big goal, which is your month goal? Y'all like that, right? You see, when y'all don't let me know what you gotta get do, because I'm gonna be on you. This is my favorite part. Because if I'm gonna be on me, I'm gonna be on you too. I'll see you tomorrow. And then take action, and there you go, Paulette, and build momentum. You called it. Small actions lead to bigger results when you take consistent. There you go. Thank you for owning it, Dr. D. Feel free to tag me so I could love up on you. When you take consistent action, you create momentum that propels you towards your bigger goal. It's I can't explain it any other way but show you Zachary. I'm gonna keep just showing you him. And he is the product of small actions. Lots and lots and lots and extra lots of consistent actions. He is where he is because I'm a parent that don't give up. Period. I don't give up on me, so I don't give up on you, so you don't even get a chance to give up on you. And it got to the point where he wanted even more for himself than I wanted. Because I'm there thinking, oh, maybe he'll go to Brooklyn College. And he's like, wait a minute. What if I want to go away? I'm not ready for that. I can start helping myself get ready for getting away, Mom. What do I need to do? I'll do my chores. I'll start learning the area more. I'll start doing my laundry. He gave himself his own action steps. And then he had to start doing it. And that was the only way I was going to feel okay with the move away, is because he started to build his own momentum. So when he looked at me and says, time for this bird to flee the nest, I was like, okay, bird, you've been preparing yourself, so it's time to fly. So taking that clarity is why I'm coming here, and I'm helping you guys with whatever it is that's in your head that's been stopping you. I didn't make this challenge very specific. I kept it super wide because I just know people are out there that they need to do something. They got to get clear before they take action, and then they need some support in the process. That's why. And just like you got to do it, I got to do it. Every person has their goals. Everyone got to get clear before they move. I just do a lot of clarity stuff because I realize I can't afford too much here. If I have too much, nothing gets done. And I don't like when nothing gets done. I'm one of those, I'm very results driven. So that's who I am, and I'm here gifting you with what I do, which most of you do anyway. Why? Because you're aligned. We're already aligned to each other. So I know we have a lot in common, but sometimes we just need to take the time out to take a pause, to just zone it in a little bit, simplify it, and then set our next step. That's all. Not the next 5 steps, guys, just the next step. One small action I can take right now to get started. What's one thing you could do that you can do right now to get started? Take action on one of the tasks that you have outlined for today, and don't wait for that perfect moment. As soon as we get off, or even as you're on the call right now, feel free to start one of the things. And if you want to celebrate at the end at 4 o'clock, then let me know you got that one thing done. So what's that one thing that you can put now? So I'm gonna give you an example for Dr. D. You're gonna do your live tomorrow. I need to go in your phone and put on your calendar what time you're doing that live tomorrow. And then I want you to put 10 a.m. or 2 p.m. or 5 p.m. or whatever the time it is, and you might do it tonight. Live at 8, live at 7, go live at blank. Do it now. Anybody else who has another day goal, what can you start now? Think about it, think about it, own it. If you're one of the people that want to do their weight loss, I could do a PM exercise. I already walked today. I already biked already today. I'm on a fast already today. I could make sure my dinner is still light. I could start making my salad when I get off. I can't eat it until 6 o'clock anyway, but I'll have the salad ready, so that when I do eat, it's a better choice of whatever I'm putting into myself. So that I can do when I get off. What can you do now towards that? So now I'm taking that 1 day goal and I'm just breaking into what can you do now? Isn't this beautiful? Yeah, I told people that they come, they'll get some results if you start come. I'm not gonna waste your time because I'm not gonna waste my time. Each week, write one of the 4 sections. I'm looking to repurpose content offers. I'm thinking to list current offers and see what can be combined. I want less overwhelm. All right, cool. All right, so Zena, I could focus on you a minute. If you're gonna be doing your weekly of what you have to get, what you're doing, or what already does your day look like, line up in your phone, because I am clear you haven't updated your calendar. Most of my clients know that if your calendar doesn't look like this, you're not one of mine. And if you're one of mine and it doesn't look like this, get yourself together. All right. So if your calendar doesn't look like this and it has colors and it has a few things throughout the day, get yourself together. It's the only way I remember stuff now. So that's what you're going to do to me today, Zena. Get your calendar for today and start lining up what needs to get done. Put the clarity challenge, or start from tomorrow, give it a color, put it in your phone, and start with that space. You got to be able to look at it. All right, review and proof size from workshop 1. There you go. That looks familiar to me. I'll update the colors. There you go. Just that one thing you could do now. While you're on, I'm talking. There's nothing else you need to write right now. So you're listening. Feel free to turn off your screen if you want to do something now, because we're going to end up in another 10 minutes. But what can you do now or when you get off? Commit to the Lord whatever you do, and He will establish your plans. So whatever it is that you're going to do, make a commitment, and He will establish your plans. He's the one that will do it. But you got to make your first commitment of what you're going to do. That's why I'm asking folks to type it in the chat. I'm not asking you to type it so you can have your business out to the world. And if you just want to send it to me, that's fine. But you got to commit. This is your commitment. I committed by saying 10 pounds. I should have chose the business goal, right? But I'm going to choose the one most complicated one that's on the top of my head right now. I'm like, you know what? I got to get my health back together. And I've been doing it slowly. So now I want to get more consistent in it. Of course, it's warmer now. So now is the best time to take more walks and do outdoor things. And I could do things, it's still May. So some of us want to get right by June. Am I the only one that want to get right by June? Gotta have the whole twist with it. Right? Someone's gonna get right by June. You still got a whole month. You still got 6 weeks. You still have some things that you can start doing now that can get you back into that space where you coats are coming off and you can be like, hey, I put some time, I dropped a few pounds, 5 to 7 pounds in that month. You gonna feel better. And that's definitely good mental health for you. All right. And then the other thing I want to leave you is I move boldly with divine guidance. Tap in. Take your time out. Like we said before, I want you to add on to that day one exercise. For homework for day one, we spent 10 minutes in stillness. I'd like for you to do that again. So I want you to spend 10 minutes in stillness again. Now, the biggest shift comes when you move from overthinking and action, trust the process, and take the first step. Choose one small task from today's session, set a deadline, break it down into steps, and share it with an accountability partner. I'm your accountability partner. So, tomorrow, you're going to share with me how you're breaking down your 1 month plan into what small steps, right? Feel free to share it with me. I'm open, whether you email me or you send it to me in my DMs or something. Not today, tomorrow. Tomorrow from the morning, I'm fine with that. But feel free to send it to me or text it to me. All you all have different ways of getting in touch with me. But I want you to break your 1 month down into the 4 weeks and tell me how does that look like for you. And then don't forget to celebrate your progress once it's completed. I'm gonna do that 1 day goal of that we just set because I told you guys a lot of this is rogue. I had this homework set from a while ago, but I like the 1 day homework. All right, A, make sure I see you tomorrow, and B, it gets you started with accountability. Right? That's called actionable clarity. Getting clear and taking serious action. Now we can wait for the whole week or wait for the whole month, but why not if accountability, which is me, will be here tomorrow? And you can come in and say, hey, I did that one thing. I made that one salad. I did that one walk. I did that one slide. I set my let me send you a picture of my Zena. Let me send you a picture of my calendar now, coach. What you gotta say? Right? Dr. D tagged you, went live yesterday, and I went live again today. Whatever it is that you want to do, send it to me, and we will spend a little time tomorrow where we'll go over it and we could talk about the progress that you made all in just 1 day. That feels good? Remember, tomorrow we'll start going into mindset, right? So, tomorrow I'm going to start sharing and we're going to start talking about when we get into action. And this is the part C we were talking about a little bit yesterday. When we get into action and then the devil shows up to kind of swipe you off, like you're doing your 1 month challenge, and then all of a sudden you go into the office and there's that cake. God must have known that this was the month that there was not going to be any cake. And then everybody wants to have cake. Why now? Because you're on this 1 week goal, or you're on this 1 month intentional space. So I'm going to send you the things that could derail you. So tomorrow we're going to talk about what are the things that are going to show up that's going to prevent us from doing that. And we'll dive deeper in that so we can get ahead of that. All right. This is why this is a 3 day challenge. I didn't want to be 3 day. I've been doing 1 days for the last few months. But when God says 3 days, break it down to them simple. Don't give them too much to bite at one time. Let's just do it slow. Let's just take our time, spend a quick 45 minutes to an hour, if anything, and just allow us to just take it in smaller, digestible pieces. So, day one had to do with purpose, getting clear on your purpose. When you're clear on your purpose, the moment you start to fall off, you run back to that purpose. And the purpose cannot be people. So I had to release that. When I met with my coach, I was like, my purpose is my son. That cannot be your purpose. There has to be more than that. All right. So what is your purpose? Why does God still have you here? Why are you still waking up? Why is he still blessing you with breath? It gotta be beyond your kids. You are more than your kids. You are more than your mates. You are more than the people that are around you. You are more, and I'm talking about your immediate people. You're more than your family. but what bigger aspect do you have besides what you're doing? And only you know that, right? Only you know that. And if I was to think about my purpose and why my goal is still aligned to my purpose, when I feel better, my light shines brighter. So when I feel heavier, or then I don't shine as bright because I don't want to be as visible and do as much, and I get tired, and I'm just not the best me. And 5, 10 pounds, it don't seem like much to many people, but it makes a whole big difference to me, especially that winter weight. I love releasing that. So when I release that, I could go back to shining my light, empowering people, being a gift, being a safe space for folks, because I'm a better human being. And that's how my purpose is still in alignment to my goal. Does that make sense? All right, awesome. So I will catch you guys same time tomorrow, same place. I'm going to stop recording now. I'm going to leave 10 to 15 minutes open now for you to share with me the value of the session. Definitely type it out. What did you get from it? What's the one thing that resonated to you? Feel free to share it in the chat. And if you have any questions and or want to share your experience of day one, please be brief because we got other people in the chat that may want to share. Then you have the next 10 to 15 minutes. I'm giving you a non-negotiable hard stop. So my hard stop will be at 4 o'clock or the hour on the hour. So we got 10 to 15 minutes where we can share. And I have no problem with my non-negotiable of giving a hard stop. I love demonstrating the things I talk about. I don't just talk about it, I live by it. That's what my integrity based is. All right, so I'm gonna stop recording.